It was supposed to be the grand finale of one of humanity's most remarkable space missions. The Cassini spacecraft, after spending nearly 2 decades traveling through space and conducting an in-depth exploration of Saturn and its many moons, was scheduled to meet its end by plunging into the gas giant's atmosphere on September 15, 2017. This final maneuver, known as the grand finale, was designed to ensure that the probe would not accidentally contaminate any of Saturn's potentially habitable moons, like Enceladus or Titan. To the world, it was a noble sacrifice, a fitting conclusion to a spacecraft that had redefined our understanding of Saturn and the outer solar system. People around the globe celebrated the mission's success. Scientists praised the data Cassini had collected. News outlets played highlight reels of stunning images captured by the probe: Saturn's iconic rings in unprecedented detail, Titan's thick orange haze, Enceladus spraying water vapor into space. The final moments were emotional. We believed the chapter had closed. The spacecraft had done its job. Its mission was over. But now, years later, new whispers have begun to circulate, strange and unsettling claims that Cassini's end might not have been what it appeared to be. According to anonymous insiders and recent digital leaks, a hidden layer of the mission has come to light. One that was never meant to be shared with the public. It begins not with a scientist, but with an artificial intelligence system, one that was never part of the original mission plan. This AI wasn't a publicized tool, nor was it built by NASA directly. Instead, it was developed by a private European research firm working with quantum computing applications in astrophysics. Its purpose was clear: to scan old mission data for anomalies, patterns, signals, or visual cues that human eyes might overlook. It was trained to detect inconsistencies in raw data, irregular pixel alignments, strange noise in transmission signals, and spectral deviations invisible to the naked eye. When the AI was set loose on the Cassini archive, nothing unusual surfaced for weeks. Most of the data was exactly what one would expect: vast logs of telemetry, high-resolution images, chemical analyses of Saturn's rings, weather patterns in the gas giant's upper atmosphere. But then, on one particular image taken just days before Cassini's descent into Saturn, the AI flagged something unusual. To human analysts, the image looked perfectly normal. But within the infrared spectrum, just outside the visual range, the system detected an anomaly, a structure. Something massive. Something symmetrical. This object was not a glitch. It wasn't compression noise or a lens flare. The AI cross-referenced it against thousands of known atmospheric distortions and ruled them all out. What it saw appeared to be a real, physical object, hovering high above Saturn's cloud tops. Its geometry was unlike any natural formation. Circular, with precise angles and radiating arms or extensions. Some described it as resembling a mechanical eye, or perhaps a kind of artificial satellite, enormous in scale, motionless in space, yet invisible to any human observer who had previously reviewed the image. The AI flagged the image and requested additional context. That's when things reportedly became even stranger. The AI detected something embedded in the radio transmission that accompanied the image, an unexplained pulse. According to one source close to the project, this pulse wasn't part of Cassini's standard data packet. It was a low-frequency signal, faint and short-lived, but clearly distinct. The frequency was unusual, and when processed into a spectrograph, it revealed a repeating pattern. 3 pulses. Then silence. The AI couldn't interpret the signal, but it did recognize the pattern as artificial. Something about the mathematical symmetry of the pulse was flagged as non-random. It wasn't a natural occurrence or the result of solar interference. It had structure. And that structure led to a terrifying possibility. The signal may not have come from Cassini at all. It may have come from the object in the image. After this discovery, the project's access to the Cassini dataset was restricted. The high-resolution version of the flagged image disappeared from the shared research archive and was replaced by a compressed version. Multiple analysts confirmed that some of the telemetry logs associated with Cassini's final days were marked as incomplete or restricted. The AI itself was disconnected from the archive and moved onto a separate server, reportedly for maintenance. Publicly, none of these actions were acknowledged. But internally, researchers began to suspect they had uncovered something that was never meant to be found. One anonymous insider claimed that the object's presence had been known to a small group within NASA and ESA. According to this individual, the final dive into Saturn was not just about avoiding contamination. It was about removing the possibility of Cassini getting too close to the object, or even making contact. If the probe had been allowed to stay in orbit just a little longer, it might have captured clearer images. It might have recorded another signal. That possibility was considered too dangerous. As the story slowly leaked onto obscure forums and private message boards, discussions began to spread. A now-deleted post on a Space Anomalies forum described the object in vivid detail, claiming it was at least 50 kilometers wide and located at an altitude that allowed it to remain stationary relative to Saturn's rotation. The post included hand-drawn diagrams, frequency charts, and a timestamp for the original image. Within hours, the post was removed. The account that posted it vanished. Several people who had archived the post found their links broken. It was as if someone had swept through the internet, erasing traces of the leak. But the damage was already done. Conspiracy theorists, amateur astronomers, and former mission analysts began piecing together fragments of information. A growing community started asking questions NASA refused to answer. If there was nothing to hide, why was an AI analyzing Cassini's final data years after the mission ended? Why were some parts of that data removed or restricted? Why was an AI, the most sophisticated anomaly detection system in Europe, taken offline immediately after detecting a potentially artificial structure in Cassini's images? Some believe the object may be alien in origin. Not a ship, but a relic, something left behind, orbiting Saturn for untold millennia. Others think it could be a surveillance system, monitoring the solar system. A few even speculate that it isn't just watching, but capable of communicating, and that Cassini's destruction was to prevent further dialogue. But not all theories involve aliens. Some suggest the object may be human-made, part of a black project so secret even most space agencies are unaware of its existence. Perhaps Cassini stumbled upon a space station or device built under the radar, and the grand finale was staged to cover it up. Official agencies remain silent. NASA has released statements reaffirming that Cassini's mission ended exactly as planned. They deny any knowledge of anomalies, AI analyses, or withheld data. To them, the story is nothing more than a fabrication, an internet rumor fueled by misinterpretation and science fiction. But silence breeds suspicion. And as more people dig into Cassini's mission logs, image archives, and radio transmissions, more inconsistencies emerge. Gaps in the timeline. Unexplained entries in telemetry. Image files with mismatched metadata. What really happened in Cassini's final days? Did we discover something we weren't meant to find? Did we glimpse a truth that challenges everything we thought we knew about our solar system? Perhaps Cassini was not destroyed simply to protect Saturn's moons. Perhaps it was destroyed to prevent a discovery. A discovery that we are not alone. That we are being observed. And that somewhere, far above the swirling clouds of Saturn, something impossible was watching us back. If the AI is correct, if its detection was real, then we made contact. And we covered it up. Or worse, we were warned. And chose to look away.